What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Twitch Spotlight podcast with me, Cake Eater 1991, and the fabulous Misfit 93. And tonight we are presented with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Fabulous himself, the bearded baritone. How's it going, man? How are things?
Hey man, thanks for that intro. It's going great. Just got I've got my 6-year-old over about 20 feet from me watching a Spider-Man movie. So if you hear loud screaming at Mysterio, that's what's going.
So don't call the
Hey.
cops or anything. Just
No,
just
no,
let it be.
just there's it's though there may be a ruckus that I've already described the ruckus, so that's what's going on.
So the ruckus of a toddler watching
Right.
Spider-Man.
No, he's not a toddler. The toddler is too. The toddler is better stay in bed too. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought he. Oh, I know he was a little bit younger, but man, time flies.
Dude. Well, I mean, yeah, time flies. My oldest is 19 now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is crazy.
I can't even
Like,
imagine when my kid turns 19. Oh my god. I don't even want to. Oh,
Yeah.
oh. Teenage years, man.
Yeah, that's just the thing. I've been talking to you, and I've known you for years. So I basically kind
Yeah,
of
it's
watched
been
your.
a while, hasn't it?
I think basically when you started streaming,
Yeah.
I just typed in Michigan streamers, and you were one of them.
hmm
And I checked you out. You might have been live that day, or I followed you, or
Uh,
whatever. And lo and behold, your little tiny infant is now not a baby.
oh my God.
Mm,
I still remember when I had a baby cam on my stream. You
I
remember
remember
that?
that.
I
I
used to have him sitting
oh
do.
my
down
god,
here,
dude. I
and I
would
had a
die
little
for that.
camera on him, and he's
And his
just
like
sitting
little
there, just up
rocker
in
or
his
some
his
shit.
little rocker. Yeah, he's like, Dad.
Oh my god. That is so
Yeah.
cute. Oh.
Yeah, like that's just crazy about
I know,
like
right?
technology and like live streaming and everything else like that. Like
Well, the
you,
pandemic.
Yeah.
yeah,
Very true.
actually starting it off, let's kind of give the people a little introduction on who you are and let them know.
All right. Well, I am the bearded baritone, and that name actually is that's recent. I rebranded for the longest time on Twitch. I was Wolverine Guy Kev. I started streaming once the pandemic happened because, much like everyone else, my industry went. I am a professional opera singer and voice teacher. I live in the Detroit, Michigan area, and I was doing a lot of Call of Duty for a while. That's why I started out streaming. And it wasn't even like Warzone. I was so bad at Warzone. I'm still bad at Warzone. And then it kind of just evolved into doing a lot of just chatting, where I'd have a stream every morning at 11 a.m. And that was just the coffee hour where I'd be able to sit here on camera wearing no pants because that's the beauty of the pandemic, with a coffee and just kind of bullshit with everybody. It was fabulous.
Hmm.
And I just took a long hiatus from streaming. I got a big boy job last year. And then after, I don't know, I was there like 6 months, and my 2-year-old was diagnosed with autism. So one of us had to stay home, and well, my wife is a nurse, so I got a sugar mama, and I decided to go kind of all in on what I'm good at, because again, I'm an opera singer. I've got a couple of music degrees from the University of Michigan, and that's kind of what my focus is now. I still do the just chatting streams. I'm doing more content that is based on music, and more content that is based on also the Cake caught one of my workout streams, I think, not too long ago.
Hmm.
I started doing that because I've got a home gym literally on the other side of this camera, so I just flip it over. Yeah,
Nice.
that's me. I'm an old man that still uses technology somehow.
And
That's
still not good at Warzone.
that's really
You shut your mouth, Cake.
that's really interesting that you're how old is your son that got diagnosed with autism?
Two. So
Oh wow.
yeah,
He's
he got
young.
diagnosed really early. We took him into his pediatrician. It was for something random, like yeah, I don't know. He was like pulling at his ears, but like we weren't sure if it was an ear infection or not because he likes pulling at his ears. We brought him in like 3 times for that. Like, no, he's fine. Okay, so we brought him in for that, and then like within 5 minutes, he was doing his little like things that he does to stim, and pediatrician's like, have you ever thought that he might be autistic? And then my wife looks at her straight in the face and says, I've always thought that. I'm like, was anyone going to include me on this
Whoa, yeah.
conversation?
Hey, I'm the
What different
dad. What?
messages to
Where the
me,
hell
right?
am I?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I know, right? So, but so we've got him in some therapy 3 days a week. We're still waiting on the ABA, which is the autism therapy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he's, and the thing is that when normally they catch this like around like 7-8 years old.
4. My daughter was 4 when she was diagnosed.
Yeah, and that's still pretty early, to be
Yeah.
totally honest. Like I said, the average is around 7 or 8, because it's usually once they're into school. But he was so behind on like milestones, like and whatnot, and it was starting to get a little scary because I hadn't had to deal with that.
Yeah.
And but he's a different kid than he was in December now, completely different.
Really?
Yeah, and that's just from speech and OT. That's not from ABA because we're still on a waiting list for that because it's a pain in the butt to get into ABA.
Oh, I know. Believe me, we're on the waiting list right now.
Yeah.
Where my daughter got diagnosed when she was 4. She's in OT, speech, and food therapy because she has like a very severe food aversion. And she's nonverbal, so she doesn't talk. She's level 3. Right. She's severely autistic. So
okay.
But I always like hop on that because it's really cool. It's not cool, but it's interesting to meet other parents that are dealing with stuff that I'm dealing with. So I was just curious.
Yeah. I mean, Cadence is he's 2. He's nonverbal, but he's not really making a lot of effort to communicate at all. So that was really kind of the thing that was concerning to me. But yeah. Now he just leads me around by the hand everywhere and points to stuff.
Yep, that's what my daughter does.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, they call it hand over hand leader or whatever. Yeah. But
wow, so I think this is the second person that we've had that one of their kids is autistic, which is making a very small world. So yeah, just keeping that autistic.
We've got better diagnostic tools now than we did than any of us were kids. People are always like, "Oh, doctors
for
just handing out
yourself.
that diagnosis." Doctors are just handing out that diagnosis. No, they know how to recognize it now. That's really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like 30 years ago, I have ADHD, so it wasn't really recognized, but it was more recognized than what it was in like the 1980s. So
the Spider-Man movie ended over there, so now I can take my headphones off.
Oh, okay. Well, hopefully he enjoyed Spider-Man because
Spider-Man's his favorite.
Spider-Man is my favorite too.
Spider-Man was my favorite when I was little. And I'm still a big fan of Spider-Man. But Batman and Wolverine kind of rank over him now.
Hence the Wolverine guy, Kev.
Yeah. I mean, I've got the Wolverine claw tattoo, and I went to Michigan, so there's a lot of Wolverine.
Go green.
Yeah, I will cut you.
He said, "I will cut you."
I see my friend Shimshaw in chat. Hi, Shimshaw. I'm waving to you like you're actually down in the chat window. I don't know why.
I mean, they could be. All right, so what kind of got you all started up with this whole streaming thing?
Hang on for 1 second. Check my general Discord. Okay, I'll get it to you. All right, sorry. My wife is like, "What's the channel?" Like, I am literally in the middle of this right now.
Yeah, you can ask that.
All right, so I'm sorry. What was the question, Cake?
What kind of got you all started? Was it just the pandemic and just your shortage of jobs at the moment? Because
yes and no. So, All right. So when the pandemic hit, like 2 weeks before the world shut down, I had 40 voice students. I was cast in 3 different operas. I had a summer music job all lined up because that's the off season and that's the hardest time to get work. And I had a full-time music job lined up for like the next 4 months. And all of that the same day was like, nope, no more. And so, I kind of went through, a few days at home where I just kind of laid around because I didn't even know what else to do. There was nowhere to go. I mean,
Yeah.
my gym shut down. It wasn't allowed out anywhere. You're just kind of sitting in your house. And my older kids were watching, they were big fans of Ninja. And I can't remember the other streamers. There was a lot of Warzone and Fortnite streamers. And so I started watching them and I was like, I can do that. I mean, I can't play the games, but I can do this. And so, we started getting, we had, Jen and I had a considerable amount of savings at the time built up. And plus we had the, you have the pandemic assistance. And I was like, all right, so I can upgrade the equipment that I have and put all this together and maybe turn this into something. And, and first I gave it a couple test runs on the stuff that I had. I mean, I was running off an iMac at first. And let me tell you how streaming off of that, you look at my early streams, oh my God, they're so bad. And then it just kind of like, as I got my footing and figured out my niche, then I was able to really build off of that and put an investment into the equipment that I have now. I mean, this all paid for itself in a year. So
wow.
Twitch was pretty successful back when, everyone was getting unemployment and everyone was just at home and had nothing better to do. So it's a little bit of a different game now, but I still I don't regret any of these purchases at all. And because they all paid for themselves, they helped keep food on the table and they helped pay the rent. So
And that's all that matters at the end of the day.
yeah, and it was a lot of fun. It was the only way I could socialize too. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you had the coffee hour, and then a couple late nights you had a happy hour.
happy
I think it was
hour,
called.
yep. Yeah, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I streamed twice a day, and I can't really sit in one place for too long, so it was always like an hour or two tops.
Nice.
Yeah, those were entertaining. You're just focusing on chat. You're getting to know chat, and you're actually talking to the chat and getting to know them as an actual person, and not just maybe someone that's gonna get a subscription or get bits or anything else like that. So that's very cool.
It's really important, I mean, the big thing about Twitch that makes you successful is building a community. And, and I've had some of my viewers and my community members have actually apologized to me for not being able to resub. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Just show up and hang out with me. Seriously. And that's really it. And I mean, is that the way that I built up subs? Yeah, but it's not, that wasn't the goal. Like, if I tell them not to sub, they're going to sub. It wasn't like that.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, if they're going to sub or get bits or donate or whatever, they're gonna do it regardless. But it helps. Every bit, every sub, every donation does help.
Oh yeah.
It's not required by any sort of means to come into the stream and hang out, get to know me, and I get to know you. But all that shit does help.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, moving along here, I want to know. I know I heard a little bit about workout and what kind of streams you do. So, what about do you do any game streams? And if you do, what games do you like to play?
So, I did. Obviously I did Warzone. That was kind of my main game, even though I'm horrible at it, but that was kind of the pull, was me screaming at teenagers. But
with your wife on the other end.
Yeah, or her absolutely roasting me while we were squatting up.
That's true. That is very
But
true. Those were
yeah.
good times.
But I also, I also like to play a lot of retro games. I've got the emulation station software on my PC, so I play a lot of original NES and Super Nintendo games. Shimshaw was just talking about back when I used to stream on Thursday. I used to do Throwback Thursday. It was nothing but retro games coming in,
Oh,
and people are
wow.
like, "Are those pixels? What the hell?" And, but so
Showing
yeah,
those gray hairs.
yeah, that's some of the stuff that I do. Once in a while, my wife will have me jump on like, oh, what's that? Phasmophobia.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, I've played a lot of different games on stream. I tend to go back to Warzone because it's like my safe game.
Mm-hmm.
Safety
Which,
blanket.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But I'm having an issue with my PC that I cannot play the game and stream it.
Uh-oh.
So
Oof.
I think I screwed something up
Oh
hardware wise.
no.
So, but it's an issue where like I can play Warzone just fine, and I'll get 120 frames a second, and then I turn OBS on, which for those of you that don't stream the open broadcasting software, that's how you get this lovely image up here on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
My frames drop to like 20. It's
Oh,
completely
wow.
unplayable. It completely, and I haven't figured out. I've had this problem a couple times in the past, and usually it's a setting in OBS. I have changed literally everything. I don't know what it is anymore. And Shimshaw's like, call my hubby. Like he couldn't figure out either. So, and he's an IT person. I
Oh,
actually kept him up
wow.
a couple of nights where he was like, I don't know what the problem is.
Oh,
But
that must be
yeah, so
frustrating.
I don't do the gaming streams as much anymore.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's all about the just chatting or hanging out, or like you said, just now the workout streams.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just again, this is my social life basically. I have 4 kids. I don't go anywhere.
Besides going to work, which you got a big show coming up, or was that last week?
Last week, I was cast in the Detroit Opera production of it was an opera called Aina Damar. It's an Arabic word that means fountain of tears, and it was written by an Argentinian composer and the opera is entirely in Spanish. It is such a weird combination.
What?
Yeah, I know there was a long way to go for that. And it was I mean it was a very, very serious, very sad opera, but I had a small role in this. I was one of the principals, and Detroit Opera is an AGMA house, which essentially means that it is a union opera house. The Opera Singers Union is the American Guild of Musical Artists. So I was guaranteed a weekly salary, guaranteed X amount of hours per week, and they couldn't go over that max. And
Oh,
just
wow.
a lot of real union benefits, and the
Hmm.
money was wonderful. But we closed last week, and I tested positive for COVID on opening night, so I didn't actually get to sing opening night. It sucked.
Oh.
I'm still kind of getting over it. I mean, I'm free and clear now to walk around unmasked, but I've still got a bit of congestion, and I'm exhausted.
Jeez.
Yeah. Is that
Not fun.
number two?
This is the second time. Yeah, the first time was about a year ago in January,
Yeah.
and it's really weird. Like the first time, it didn't feel like it wasn't that bad, except I had one night where I thought I was going to die. It was horrible that one night. This time there was no one night, but overall the symptoms were worse. So I mean, I don't know
Hmm.
which one was really bad comparatively.
They're bad in their own ways.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. So, what do you think is the hardest part when it comes to streaming for you personally?
For me personally, it's just getting the time to do it, because I can't do it while the toddler is running loose. I have to do
Mm.
it while he's sleeping, or if somebody else is here to watch him.
Hmm.
And that is part of the reason that my schedule is a lot more inconsistent than I would like it to be. Because he's got his therapy Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on like the 10 to noon ish range. It's kind of flexible in there. And then so that knocks me out of when I would normally stream the coffee hour. And then he doesn't normally go down for a nap until anywhere between 11 and 1. And he's about at that age where we're about to knock naps out entirely. But so that's really the hardest part, is just being able to stop real life and come and do this.
Yeah.
And I don't, it's not, there's never really a lack of motivation unless he has ran me ragged, which is a totally different problem.
Yep. I know how that goes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Having
So,
several kids running around.
oh yeah. So, branching off of that question,
Yeah.
when you are on your off times, which it sounds like sometimes you do have, what do you do to like network with your stream? Like, do you go in other streams? Do you hang out? Do you have a lot of friends within the streaming community?
So, and again, I'm coming off a pretty long hiatus, so I haven't really gone hardcore back into the networking. But when I was doing this full time, there was a lot of exploring similar streams, and just it's really strange because the networking for Twitch is very counterintuitive. People, when they first hear networking, they want to go out and basically tell everyone, hey, I'm a streamer, this is my stream. And that doesn't work at all. Walking into somebody else's stream and being like, hey, I'm a streamer too, generally that's how you get those people to never go into your stream. And so
Or
with me, it's always going in, checking the vibe, and I will not hang out in a stream unless you are very personable, and you're active in chat. And there's a lot of people that will prioritize their gameplay over chat. And that's, if I may be a little cliche, that's fine if you're Ninja and you're playing at that level
Yeah.
and you have 10,000 concurrent viewers. You're not going to keep up with chat
Yeah.
anyway. But when
Yeah.
you're when you're Wolverine guy Kev and you max out at 25 viewers, screw the gameplay. I can still sit there and play and make some plays, and there are going to be some times when I'm focused, but overall I'm constantly like, if I'm staring at my screen here, I'm like constantly looking over in chat. And that's really the most important thing. So and I'm like going way off topic here, but when people are focusing on their gameplay and they're not paying attention to chat, or they're just their community can be toxic and stuff like that, it's always getting a vibe check first. And then from there you just kind of organically grow. And I've gotten that strategy has helped me grow my community huge. And then there was that hot minute that what was that app everyone was using? Hover.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, Hover.
Yeah, you remember when that was a thing? Yeah,
Yep.
for like, I don't know, like 2 months.
It lasted a little longer than that. It was around for about a year.
Yeah, it
No,
was a
around for
good
about,
app.
what, a year or two, right? But
Yeah.
I gained a significant following off of that for a little while, but then it just fizzled right out. Like a lot of their big people left the platform. So
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Hover.
So when it comes to
Hover's
Hover
gone.
was
They deleted it.
which is
They didn't
unfortunate.
even it didn't even die. They deleted it.
wow, it didn't die; they executed it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they brought it over to the gauntlet and bye.
Yeah.
So you're talking about red flags, which brings up a great question. What are other red flags that you see besides people not engaging with chat that instantly make you turn off the stream and find somebody else?
Gosh, some of these things are just my pet peeves. Well,
that's what this podcast is for. This is all for you.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not necessarily, like red flag to me just sparks like danger, but there are also things that like I'll go to somebody's stream and be like, no. So, I mean, obviously, like I said, not engaging with chat or being toxic, those are easy ones. But like little things like having your chat set to sub only mode or follower only mode, I'll hang for a minute Because sometimes there are legitimate reasons to do that. You know, I've seen people get hate raids,
Yep.
and that's the only time I've ever put it in sub or follow only mode is when I've gotten just a bot attack. And but that can be kind of a red flag, because to me that just screams that you're trying to get something from me right off the bat, you know. um Other things I guess would be, I mean, I don't know. I don't really value in other streamers like big production value. You know, I think that there's a level that I think attracts me more to it, but I don't think that, like, if you're streaming off of like a Logitech, or okay, if you're streaming off like the PlayStation directly and you're just using the PlayStation camera that comes with, I don't have a PlayStation. I just know that a lot of PlayStation streamers, they have cameras that are not good. I'll still watch a stream if you're engaging, but because but I think that production value can kind of play a little bit into it. And people, you know, I can't watch a stream when somebody doesn't have a camera. I just can't. And it's nothing against the streamer, but it just, for some reason, I just can't make that mental connection.
Yeah, those are pretty solid red flags, and I know for a lot of people, especially having the followers only or subscribers only chat is definitely a red flag for a big chunk of people.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple people, like especially newer people, I give them a quick follow. Hey, are you aware that you have followers only chat on?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Oh, no, I didn't. How do you know how I changed that? Yeah, you just do this, do this, do this, do this. Wow, I do appreciate you letting me know. Thank you so much.
Man, I raided somebody one time, and he didn't have a camera, and again, it's not that big of a deal. And it was a rando, because I like doing that, and so I got into his stream, and when I got there, he shut his camera off. Okay, and then he just wasn't talking. All right. And so I was like, all right, maybe he's wrapped up into this game, and I'm trying to be the cheerleader with my community, right? Dude finishes off, it was like a racing game or something, finishes off the track, and then types in the chat, I'm getting lunch, I'll be streaming again at 12:30, so make sure you're back here. And
what?
That was it. I'm dead serious.
What?
Oh my
Like,
god.
No.
Wow. Okay.
It might have been a little bit too much for him.
I don't know.
Wow.
I mean, the fact that I remember that particular random raid tells you how bad it was.
Yeah, I would remember that too. That would piss me off. Holy crap.
One, don't tell me what to do. And two, I don't know. Thanks for the raid, maybe?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And that's the thing. Those people are so hard to find that are so thankful for a raid, no matter how many people it is.
Mm-hmm.
Not asking for balloons or fireworks or even a fucking parade. Just be excited for a raid.
It doesn't matter what the size of the raid is either. I've seen people get downright angry at small raids. Like, what?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like, just be excited for a raid. There's thousands of other streamers that I could have raided, but I picked you out of everybody else on Twitch.
Right.
Show excitement for it.
Just, or at least say thanks. I don't need you to be overflowing with gratitude, but for the love of God, a thank you out of politeness would be great.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for the raid.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would prefer that over nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer that all day. But just some people think they're more entitled than what they really are.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's definitely sad. I've seen a video where this female streamer, she got all upset because she didn't receive any new subscribers in like a matter of like 5 minutes or something.
Oh wow.
Like, where do you come off to
like you deserve
to put
them.
that under your chat?
Yeah.
Imagine wanting to announce so loudly how big of an asshole you are.
Yeah.
Hey,
no
I haven't
kidding.
received a new subscriber in 5 minutes.
Right.
Okay, bye. Are you kidding
That's
me?
nuts. Oh my
Say
gosh.
you're entitled
Oh
without
my
actually
god.
saying that you're entitled.
That is
Mama
crazy.
Jen.
Oh, there's my wife.
There she is.
Awesome.
So, going off video games,
Hmm.
and I know you go way back probably to the good old Atari.
Dude, I go back to the Commodore 64. So
Okay, well that answers my question. What
I
was the
had an
first video game?
Intellivision, man.
Jesus Christ.
Do you
So that
even know
was
what that is?
Nope. I don't.
I've heard of
Oh
it.
my god, it's old. It's, it's
Wow.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
so that answers my question. What was the first video game you ever played? But
The first one I remember is Pac-Man.
okay.
Pac-Man. That's a
Yeah,
winner.
yeah, always.
Absolutely.
But my
Just
my
going to the
mom, when I was a kid, my mom used to manage a bowling alley, and
Oh, no
I would,
kidding.
yeah, I would. Well, she didn't. I'm sorry, she managed the restaurant in the bowling alley. She didn't manage the actual bowling alley. So I would
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
walk down from the restaurant to. They had like just a couple of standing arcade games, and would I would play Kung Fu and Akari Warriors literally all
Oh,
day. I think I was single handedly keeping that place in business.
that's funny. Those sound like fun games. Sound like fun games.
Definitely
Well, they were something.
yeah, those gray hairs are showing your age a little bit there, Kev.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah,
going
but
off of that, I'm gonna go back to streaming because we do these streams mostly to kind of get your story and your journey so far, but we also try really hard to help our community figure out ways to be successful by hearing other people's experiences. So, have you ever had a time in your streaming career where you were having like a really hard time with viewers or a really hard time with anything streaming related, and how did you get through that?
Um, I mean, there have been a lot of ups and downs. And I think that there was a lot of me just trying to figure out what would work and what wouldn't.
Mm.
And so, I mean, and we've all done this where we're like, okay, I'm gonna go in on Facebook and tell everyone follow for follow, and that's how I'm gonna grow my community.
Oh
And
goodness.
we've all done that, okay.
yep.
Um, and you have to kind of evolve past that. And when I first started streaming, I had one viewer, and it was not even my wife. And he
Oh,
still to
Jen.
this day shows up in my streams. But I mean, in fairness, my wife was working. So, but uh, you know, in the times where things would dip, I think the most important thing is to remember what has worked for you,
Hmm.
to stay consistent, and to take a step back and go, did I do something in the last however long that dip has happened to create that issue? Um, for me, I mean, it can be disheartening when you're used to having, like say the 20 average viewers or whatever,
Hmm.
and then suddenly you're down to 7. And I'm going through that right now. It's really strange for me and I'm not trying to sound like arrogant or anything, but I haven't been like fighting for 3 average viewers in a very long time. And right now I'm streaming at completely different times. None of the people that normally are in my stream are awake when I'm working out. And
Hmm.
I've completely accepted that. So, I know what would have to change if I want that to change. And
Hmm.
keeping motivated about it and keep doing what I know for a fact works. And that is, even when nobody is watching, I am still doing the same stream. Because what ends up happening is, they'll have like one viewer, and that one viewer is yourself because you've got your Twitch dashboard open and it counts that. and they'll just be quiet and they'll be texting and they'll play their game and they're texting. And what happens is you end up getting lurkers that are like, this is the most boring shit I have ever watched. And they'll go away. And so I am very, very good at talking to myself and making myself crack up. I don't necessarily think anyone else finds me funny, but it works for me.
Not even your wife.
You know, and well, my wife gives me the obligatory pity laughs every once in a while, but
Good for you, Jen.
I know,
Good for
right?
you.
She's a
Wow.
trooper.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Exactly.
Proud of you, Jen.
But you know, I think that really being able to step back and go, is the drop in viewers or whatever hardship I'm facing, is it something that I did? Is it something that I can control? And is it something that needs to change? I don't think that knee-jerk reactions ever help anybody. Because I mean, I know we've all gone through periods where our views, like, they're up and down and up and down and up and down. But if you look at it overall and you're seeing that everything is climbing, even if it's slowly, then you're doing something right. And you've got to keep that in mind. Everyone is going to have their downtimes. And I mean, even I'm sure BB Jess and Sorry and all those guys, they have their downstreams too.
Love
I'm sure.
BB Jess.
Yeah.
I'm
Love
sure
BB
BB
Jess.
Jess has streams where only 300 people at a time are watching, and I'm sure she cries herself to sleep those nights.
Yeah, BB Jess is doing well for herself now. I think when I started watching her, she was at like 900. Now she's bringing in like 1900.
Oh, I know.
That's-
I think the last time I actually watched her, she was around 1200 average.
Yeah,
which
she's
is
doing well.
absolutely
Jeez.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing very
That's crazy. I just remember her from Hover and RIP Hover up in chat, and like she was popping off every time I'd scroll through Hover. Like every one of 5 or at least one of 10 was BB Jess.
Yeah, no, she's super savvy at networking and utilizing social media to grow her community. And now, I mean, if she wanted to, she could run the whole thing on autopilot.
Oh, yeah,
seriously,
absolutely.
That viewership is never going to go down, ever.
well. And she puts
Yeah.
on a great show.
She
Great
really
show.
does. She really does. She is one of the few streamers where I think that the production value almost trumps the content.
Wow.
Because it's
Yeah,
so
definitely.
good. It's so good.
Gotta love them theater kids, man. Gotta love them theater
Right.
kids.
Yeah,
Damn theater
being
kids.
able to afford 17 different cameras in your one tiny room, but it still blows my mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's well, actually, speaking of cameras, what is a dream sponsorship that you would like to take? Like, would it be, since you play Call of Duty, is it Activision, or since you're a singer, is it any like microphone company or just technology? Or
You know, there was a time where it was like I was like, oh man, I got to get a G Fuel sponsorship, or something, you know,
everyone.
and I would still take that because I need the energies. But I think that right now, that either would be the microphone company, Shure, SHURE, or probably any like fitness company as well. I think that would be just awesome because I'm kind of can go in either direction. I know I don't look like it, but I used to be a huge gym rat, and then I got sick, and then I gained like a ton of weight. That's a very long story, but it involved massive amounts of prednisone and about 120-pound weight swing.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah,
a big
it
mood
was pretty
swing.
crazy. Yeah, I still got the
Yeah,
stretch marks
you
to prove it.
Yeah, you were all about posting up on Instagram and TikTok about working out, and you just started recently doing that again, but you've been more focusing on your TikTok with just vocal stuff.
Yeah, so my TikTok primarily is to network for my singing and teaching career. And I've had a decent amount of success from that. But I'm still putting out fitness content there too, and I'm having a decent response from that. It's hard with TikTok because you get put into like they pigeonhole you in their algorithm to put your content out. So it's hard to make content that kind of goes outside of your main focus that is still relevant to the people that are getting your content. And so that's that's been a challenge, but I'm doing okay with it. I'm sure there are things I could be doing better. TikTok's algorithm is finicky.
Yeah, just every algorithm is different. TikTok's is different. Facebook's is different. Every social media is different, has different algorithms, and everything else like that. It's crazy. So you just gotta keep doing what you're doing, man. You're growing, being successful, which is awesome to see. I've known you from just a little Wolverine, and now look at you, your old ass bearded baritone.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to branch off of his sponsorship question. And okay,
How the hell is that bleeding into it?
I don't know. I want to ask my question, okay? I want to
Go
know.
ahead.
Okay. Okay. Well, it is kind of going off of the sponsorship question, but if you had someone that you could do a co-stream with, meaning you're on stream with them, who would you choose?
Ooh. Gosh. So are we talking an already like a Twitch streamer or somebody that I wish was on Twitch?
Anyone who's on Twitch. It can be a small streamer, it can be a big streamer, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Just someone that you vibe with, you know.
So two of them actually. One for fitness and one for music. Sun Jim, Sunggym. Dude is an absolute beast and had an incredible transformation from being very out of shape to being just the biggest, buffest guy that on Twitch I've ever seen anyway. And he has the most, like, it's his community is just so diverse because it's not just, I mean, like all of his streams are workout streams, but his content is extremely varied, and he has one of the most unique community building things I've ever seen, and it must be nice to have this kind of time to be able to do it. But he has it's not a Patreon, but it's something similar to that, where if you donate a certain tier, he makes films, like full on movies. And if you donate a certain amount, he will create you in the Sunverse, he calls it. And they're all like parodies of real movies. So he's got like he's got a Scream parody. He's got a couple. He's got like 300. His kind of his gimmick is he's the Spartan King. And he's got like a whole like episodic Walking Dead thing going on. And then like another tier, like you could help write the scripts. It's just so cool.
Yeah.
And his bit rewards and gift sub rewards, basically they've turned it into an entire role-playing game. So if you donate so much, it is an attack on him, and he has to do like X amount of reps of some workout. But if someone wants to defend, they can donate bits as well, and it turns into this huge war, and it's so cool. And I've never seen anything like that. It's super interactive. He's a dude, bro. but he's cool, and he has some pretty badass motorcycles. The other one is a small streamer who is just really, really sweet. She is an operatic soprano. Her name is Operaveen, Operaveen. And she found me on TikTok, and then I started going into her stream. She's really, really sweet. She's got a great voice, and I just think it'd be fun to collaborate with her.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely hit him up.
And one of these days, I'm gonna do a collab with Jacques Siwipper, who you've probably seen on TikTok.
No,
You've
Who's
not seen
that?
Jack the Whipper. He's a
I
Renaissance
mean,
Festival performer. He's been in America's Got Talent.
Oh,
He's holds a
wow.
couple Guinness World Records on whip cracks, and most of his TikTok stuff
oh,
is
he's a whip cracker dude.
the whip cracker dude that sings the parody songs in the live shows where they'll
Yes,
like,
okay.
hey, do Freebird, and he'll make up a song about whipping to the tune of Freebird while he's whipping the beat.
Yeah, I've seen him sit
I
down
have
doing
I have
Freebird.
personally known that guy for like, I don't know, 12, 13 years.
Wow.
No
We used to do
kidding.
shows
Oh,
together. Yeah. So I remember him when he was on Twitch and only getting 2 viewers per stream, and he's currently live with 79. He's kicking my ass there. I mean, he's like verified on every social media platform. Quit his
wow.
real job because he blew up on TikTok so much. And
He's
I
a
am
news
so
anchor?
happy for him. He is one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet. He has shitty taste in baseball teams, but he's from Massachusetts. What can you do?
Oh, very. Yeah, well,
He's not a news anchor anymore. Somebody just asked if he was a news anchor. He used to be, and he quit, and now he's just a full-time circus freak like I used to be.
yeah,
He's a-
because you used to do a lot of Renaissance
I
and
did for about 20 years. I traveled all over the country. That's actually how I met him. Because I was doing a fair out in Massachusetts with my comedy act, and he and I shared a stage, and we actually wore our garb was very, very similar. So we did a couple shows where I apparently was his Midwestern brother, and then he would whip a cigarette out of my mouth, and I was not appreciative of that.
yeah.
did he ever hit you?
No, God, he's so good. He is so
Oh,
good.
hey, I just didn't know if he had a sneeze during his fucking back whip or.
No. The only
Um,
time he ever hit me, I actually paid him for beforehand. So
You
I'm
paid
kidding.
him
I'm
for it?
kidding.
I was
I'm
about to
kidding.
say.
No, no, that's all true. Jen can verify.
I
That's
was
why
like,
he's
what?
Like, wait, you paid him to whip? Look, don't kink shame, all right?
I mean, $20 is $20. Just fucking leave it at that.
Oh my god.
Exactly.
Holy hell. But dude, yeah, I've actually now that you kind of painted the picture on who he is, yeah, just whip songs and other shit like that. He's actually very entertaining, and that's super cool that you know him. So definitely, I bet you have him up on Facebook and hit
Oh,
him
yeah.
up and
Yeah.
hit him up because worst thing they can say is no.
He actually hit me up to do it
Oh.
several months ago.
He
And
slid into your DMs.
This was when he was newer to Twitch.
Oh.
And I was all for it, but I mean, we didn't play any of the same games at all. And it just never, for whatever reason, it never came together.
So what is he playing right now? Just curiosity.
Resident Evil 4, it looks like.
Oh,
Okay.
Resident Evil 4. That's a popular one right now.
Yeah. Just came out, so
Yeah.
everyone's playing that. But, yeah, but that's super cool. Definitely hit up a couple of those people. Maybe do one big ass stream or just a big get together or whatever. But
Yeah,
super
just
cool
hang
that you
out.
just shoot the shit, kind of talk
That's
about the
basically
good old
all of my streams is just hanging out and shooting the shit.
talk about the good old days.
Definitely. Well, going to the side of that, what is like your hobbies outside of streaming and outside of like gaming?
Well, obviously music and the gym. There was a time when I was a competitive, nationally ranked martial artist.
Wow.
Oh,
I
actually, I did not know that one.
I have 3 black belts. I have black belts in
What?
Taekwondo, Judo, and modern Arnis, which is Filipino stick fighting that kind of evolved from Kali.
What?
Shit.
Yeah. I was bullied a lot when I was a kid, and that I didn't like that. So that's when I started hitting the gym and I started doing martial arts, and we're talking like 5-6 nights a week for 3 hours for years. I was doing that. And I was for a week, for 1 week, I was ranked number 2 in the world.
What? That's
It's way less
crazy.
impressive than it sounds. I just like saying that for shock value.
But that's
I took second in the first international tournament of the year, like on January 2nd of that year. Only 2 people showed up, and I lost my match. So really is not that impressive. But damn it, I was ranked number 2.
you have a good way of putting it. You have a good way of putting it.
It's all in how you present it.
Oh yeah,
Like you
absolutely.
could say, yeah, I lost all of my matches in that month, or I was number 2 in the world.
Which one do
See
you
what
prefer?
You did there.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
I do that. I'm a big fan of Marvel movies and action movies. I still haven't made it out to see John Wick 4, and I'm very sad about that. And after that, I mean, it's honestly kind of hard to have hobbies with having 4 kids. So you know, I do what I can as much as I possibly can.
Yeah.
definitely.
Do what you can when you can with what you got.
Ooh, I got
Yeah.
a question. What's your
Okay.
favorite Marvel person? Like
My
hero?
My favorite Marvel superhero?
Yeah.
It really isn't obvious.
No, what is it?
No.
Wolverine.
Oh yeah. Wait, I thought X-Men was DC for some reason. Oh.
Oh God, no.
I know.
X-Men is Marvel, but it's like the Fox Studios. Now, if you
Yeah.
want to talk about specifically the MCU, which I mean, Fox is now a part of, but they haven't really kind of gone into that yet. I would have to. This one's actually tough. Because I really like the original Iron Man movie. I don't necessarily like Iron Man the best out of all of them. As a matter of fact, I went into the first phase of the MCU. I did not like Captain America because I am old enough to remember the original Captain America movie back from the 80s. It was so bad. And you know, I really like, you know, I love the Hulk. I love Spider-Man. That's what I grew up on. And
yeah.
so I watched the Captain America movie, and my takeaway was, so he's got a machine gun and he took steroids. That's his superpower. Okay. and not to mention the fact that it's just a shitty movie. So I went into the original Captain America movie with such low expectations, and holy crap, every Captain America movie successively was better than the last one. I think Winter Soldier was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Winter Soldier was good.
Oh my God, Winter Soldier was so good. And
Absolutely.
Civil War was pretty damn good too. So I'm,
Yep.
yeah. So I was a Captain America convert there.
Definitely. Captain America is pretty awesome. I just had to ask that because I'm a huge Marvel fan. I love the Avengers. I've watched that movie a million times. I've watched all of the MCU a million times. Love it.
I have almost every movie that has been released thus far. I'm missing the Eternals because I haven't bothered watching it yet. And I think that's and Wakanda Forever is the only
Oh, I haven't
4K
seen that
Blu-ray
one.
disc. Oh God, it's so good. It's so good. But way better than the first one in my opinion. I think they did a very, very nice, tasteful send off for Chadwick. It was very sad, and the Shuri did a great job, and the whole like Prince Namor thing was really well done. Yeah, their version of Aquaman. So
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
So out of curiosity, I know you do a lot of operas and a lot of performance. So, and I also know that you have done musical theater. You were Trekkie Monster in Avenue Q.
I was Rod.
Oh no, you were Rod. Yeah, I had a friend that was in a version of Avenue Q, and he was Trekkie Monster. I got those two mixed up. That was my bad. So, have you seen any other Broadway shows or been in any other Broadway shows?
I've seen a ton of shows. In fact, my wife and I, we've gone to Phantom, we've gone to the Book of Mormon,
Ooh.
which by the way is hysterical.
Oh my
Um,
God.
yeah. And I mean, I went and saw Rent. I've seen Miss
Oh,
Saigon. I
I
Oof.
want
saw
to
the
see
London
Rent.
version of Grease, which is completely different than the American version of Grease. It's actually better.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah, because
Hmm.
the London version of Grease, they basically said, "Hey, the movie was awesome. We're gonna make a musical based on that." The American version of Grease was not that, and it's nothing like the movie. It's the movie is really the gold standard with Grease.
Definitely.
Um, and as far as shows that I've been in, I'm gonna sound like I'm a Grease fanboy, but the first one I was in was Grease. I was Danny Zuko.
Oh
Oh, you were
wow, you
Danny,
were
huh?
Danny. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I was. Yeah, that was back. That was back when I didn't have any hair here and had so much here. And gosh, I've been a Man of La Mancha, La Cage aux Folles, Joseph the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. The last show that I did was Chicago. I played Billy Flynn.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But Avenue Q was that show was fantastic. We had so much fun with that one. And
I,
we had so many technical issues during that show that basically me and the guy that played Nicky had to improv through a lot of it because things just weren't happening and there was dead space.
Wow.
So there was a lot of who's on first in Muppet voice.
you did not do Who's on First.
We didn't, but we did.
Oh,
We got out, and where the lights wouldn't turn on, and so he and I started having a discussion about the Muppet movie that had just came out and how it was unrealistic for anyone to pay money to see a show about puppets, which got a great laugh from the crowd
Oh,
so
I'm
you're breaking the
sure.
fourth wall.
as we're holding the puppets.
That's hysterical.
It was great. It was a good time.
So I, so you're basically a natural born performer.
I don't know about that, but I'm not
Like,
afraid to make fun of myself, and I don't have stage fright anymore. So
and you put all that into your stream, which
I
is
try.
That's
which
awesome.
is awesome. So there are a lot of new people that come and go probably into your streams as a lot of other people's streams. If a newer streamer were to come to you, be like, "Hey, I'm just starting out." What kind of tip? What would your number one tip to them be?
Don't worry about your equipment. Don't worry about upping. You don't need to worry about stream decks, Go XLRs, fancy mics, big time cameras. You can, as long as you've got a decent PC, you can spend $200 on the equipment that you need tops if you buy it brand new, and just focus on your chat. That is the number one thing. I cannot stress that enough. People are like, I'm gonna go out and buy the Sony A6400. Like, do you already have a following? Because that is a $1,200 camera without a lens. Or they want the Shure SB, whatever the heck this is. I forgot the SM7B. I have this because I can purpose it out with other things. It's a
Yes.
$400 mic. If you are just streaming, this is pointless. It's overkill. There is no reason to have this because I guarantee you my wife's $70 mic sounds exactly like this one on Twitch. I have a Sony A5100 camera because I got it used and because I'm a professional photographer, so I could repurpose it.
Hmm.
There's no need to dump a ton of money into a Twitch stream unless you have the following, and then it's like, I want the toys, and it's fine to want the toys, and if you've got the money to burn, fine, go ahead. But it's no one is going to come into my stream and be like, you know what, I'm going to sub to this guy because I like his microphone.
Yeah.
That's never gonna
That's a
happen.
nice mic.
Now,
Mm.
conversely, I think that there's a balance between between content and production value. Because I've had people tell me that, you know, they're impressed by the level of production value that I have, and that's because I had a lot of free time to learn graphic design and how to set my camera settings, because again, I'm a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
But you can do all of that with cheaper equipment. And I don't think the production value is as important as some people make it out to be. The important thing is that you don't look like, I would say there's a minimum level of production value. Don't make your stream look like one of those old GeoCities websites. I'm really dating myself with that, I know. But you know what I'm talking about. Like, hey, I just learned HTML and I can make my text blink, that sort of thing, you know?
Yeah.
There's a minimum level that you have to have. And then after that, it's just content. And your content doesn't have to be video games. Your content can be literally anything as long as you are passionate about it. I was a theater minor back in my undergrad, and I took a class at 8 in the morning about Greek theater history. And if it weren't for the fact that the teacher was so passionate about it, I would have stabbed myself in the eyeballs so many times just to stay awake. But he loved it so much, he made it interesting. And that is the approach that you should take with your streams. Whatever you are streaming, you should love doing it. That's why when people come to me and they're like, what game do you think I should stream? It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Stream, like, don't even stream Super Mario Brothers. Stream the old one screen Mario Brothers video game from like the Atari. You trust me when I say this, if your content's engaging, people will watch that. And if you want to stream Warzone because you like Warzone, fucking stream Warzone. It doesn't matter that the market is oversaturated. Why? Twitch's discoverability sucks. No one's going to find you anyway from Twitch. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Content is the most important thing.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's solid.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, you nailed it on the fucking head. Oh, I'm going to play Minecraft. I'm going to play Phasmo. I'm going to play Warzone because it's going to get my name out. Absolutely not. Those are 3 top games that people are playing right now.
Right. Well, and it doesn't do you a lick of good if you don't even like the game. Like, play what you like to play. Play what gets you excited. Play what you can play with your viewers if you need to. You know, I mean, I used to have a community night on Friday nights, and it was so hit or miss. The times that we had like a lot of the community come in, it was great, but it was Friday night. It was a horrible time slot, but it was the only time I really had time to do it. And I eventually ended up stopping it, but we had a blast when people were in. But and there's definitely a market for that. But I think that people that are like, well, I should play this game because I went to twitchstrike.org or whatever that is, and it says this is the most watched. No, stop that. Absolutely stop that.
That is literally the opposite of what you should do.
Completely the opposite.
Like, everything that website says, especially being a smaller streamer, do the opposite.
I think that there's some merit to what you can glean from that, but I don't think that it should be. I don't think that you should base all of your content off of that. You need. No,
I'm talking about gameplay.
Oh, game. Yeah. It's important to, like, if you're gonna do a just chatting stream, you better be knowledgeable about something, or at least be entertaining. Have a personality. And I've been into streams that people that I know and I like, and they've done just chatting streams, and it's like a robot reading off a script sometimes. And it's not an easy thing to do just chatting and do it well. I love to talk, so I'm good at just chatting.
Yeah.
But I am not gonna go in and say, well, Twitch Strike says that Fortnite is the best game I could possibly play. I am so bad at Fortnite and I don't enjoy it at all. So I would lose viewers on that. And I think that's, if you are having a good time and people see that you're having a good time and you can still be interactive with your viewers, you're going to succeed. You're absolutely going to succeed.
Yeah,
definitely. Absolutely.
And people don't know that. Like we said, they're going to play oversaturated games because they think that's how they're going to get views. But nobody is going to go from top 10, top 15,
Mm-hmm.
and then scroll past that to go all the way down to someone with 0 views or 1 viewer.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No shot.
Right. And I
So
mean,
it just
there are things that you can do to end up on the front page of Twitch, and a lot of that just has to do with how you set up, how interactive your stream is. If you've got an active chat that has a lot of channel rewards, you can kind of bypass the saturation. But again, if don't play Warzone because you think you're going to get views. Play Warzone because you like playing Warzone. That's what's going to get you views. People are going to come in.
100%.
You're having a blast. You've got a good community. That's it. They don't care what game you're playing. Trust me, they do not. And the people that do care about what game you're playing, I would say there's a 99% chance you are not good enough to keep those people that are only there for the gameplay.
true.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is just a great podcast overall.
Absolutely.
But
I think we are running out of time for tonight, though. So we are going to be rating this stream out.
Ooh.
We usually try to check with our guests first. If there's someone in your community that you would like to send some love to, we can raid out to someone in your community.
Yeah, actually, I know exactly who I want to.
uh-oh.
Let's go.
There, I typed the name in chat.
Okay. Yeah.
High Beam, the TF stands for Transformers, but she's a real life friend of mine. And she, first time she popped up into chat, I had no idea who it was. And I was like, hi, High Beam, the fuck? But I've known her for several years. She's very, very sweet. She actually designed all of my emotes and the logo that you've got I think backwards on the stream right now.
Is it?
No, she don't. No, she don't.
Oh, shit. It is. How did
It is
that
backwards.
happen? How did
All
that
right.
happen?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I just downloaded it off. What?
That's amazing.
That's crazy.
But
That's hilarious.
High Beam is awesome, and she's just a really, really cool person. You want to talk about diverse hobbies? She is she's obsessed with Transformers. Like, she does unboxing. She's very, very much a geek. She does a lot of cosplay, and she's a pinup model.
Oh, wow.
no shit.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. All right. Well, we are going to go and check her out.
Hold on. I think she might have just gone offline.
Oh, no.
No, she didn't.
Weird. She did. Hang on.
Oh, no.
Oh, she literally just went offline.
Well, I'm glad we didn't send it right away.
Wow.
For real.
That would have
that
been.
That was quick. She wasn't streaming. Okay, hold on. All right. New plan.
All right. Let's hear it.
Strike that, reverse it. Let's do another one.
There. The Cheesy Dad. He is playing Jedi Fallen Order. Another one of my real life friends. He's British. He lives in Michigan. Actually, he is a theater person. And he is amazing. Very, very cool.
Awesome.
Hell yeah.
I'm excited. Okay, well, it's been awesome. It has been such a great podcast today. We learned so much about you, and you had some really solid advice for the community. So I really appreciate you coming on with us tonight.
Well, thanks for having me. Even though I had to put up with cake for an hour, but
I mean, know, right?
You've had to put up with me for a lot longer, so
it is
what it is.
That is absolutely true.
All right, Baritone, where can everyone come out and find you?
Oh gosh. Well, are we talking like online?
Yeah, your socials.
Yeah, all right. So almost everywhere I am the_bearded_baritone. That'll get you Instagram, TikTok, and I think maybe Facebook. I know that there was an issue with the name on a couple platforms, but I do have a link tree that's been in the chat. So that's got like everything.
Awesome.
All right. Well, we do truly appreciate your time and everyone in chat for coming out today. It has been a big, big pleasure. So thank you so much there, the Bearded Baritone, for coming out. We do appreciate you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, and everyone listening over on Spotify or any of the other listening platforms, make sure to check us out, give us a rating, and tune in for the next time. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
guys.
All right.